Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War. Carl Edward Atkins, Michael Hadwin Alsiever, George Edward Bailey, Floyd Jackson Banks, Robert Joseph Baywell, Richard Dale Benzel, Gary Richard Berg, Gary W. Bitton, Walter R. Botcher Jr., Frank Brackett, Charles Edward Brown, Robert Olin Buckner Jr., Michael David Bylanowski, Richard Frederick Campos, Daniel Peter Capello, Bobby Don Carver, Gary Richard Clark, Eugene Collins, Richard Cortez, Foster Cranmer, Guy Bear Creep Jr., Alan Dennis Curtis, Norman Ray Davison, Solomon William DeHart, David Thomas Dickinson, Daniel Albert Dickinson, Michael Joe Dingus, Alfred Duggar, Roland Leon Derflinger, Raymond Ernest Deardahl, Junior Barnett Ernest, Alvin Lee Evanoff,
Robert Arthur Faulkner, William Boyd Ferguson, Charles Elton Farrell, John Charles Philippi, Guy Marvin Finley, Kenneth John Forred, Joe Julian Gonzalez, Thomas Frederick Gorton, Warren Judge Goss, Amity George Granelli Jr., Lee Attillo Greco, Autry Green, David Garoni, Thomas Joseph Hadley, Gary Gordon Hahn, Larry Edward Hamilton, Robert Henry Harmon, Donald Eugene Harp, Thomas O. Harper Jr., Vincent Valestine Hauser, James William Hagee, Glenn Eldon Heflin, Gary Lloyd Hine, Herbert Allen Hilfker, Richard Dale Hill, Wilbert Nathan Hines, Bernard Hodges, Larry Louise Homan, Ronald Eugene Holmes, Billy Dean Hooper, Damon Donald Horn, Austin Albert Horn, Wayne Allen Hutchinson, Roland Vincent Jagger Jr., Lance Norman Jenkins, Eric Wayne Johnson, John Wallace Jones, Gerald Lloyd Castrinos, James Clayton Kerr, Joe Paul Klipfel, Paul S. Kresnowik, Charles Arthur Lauer, Dunward Allen Limbacher, Richard John Liss, Steve Ralph Luke, Montague Lyons, Robin Magnum, Garland Ray Mann, Walter Vernon Markham, Louis E. McDermott, Theodore R. McElroy Jr., Kevin Michael McGovern, Ray McKibben, Douglas Lyle McLeod, Michael Meredith McGinn, William Michael Miglio Jr., George Salbin Menno, David Michael Midcap, James Russell Miller, George Livingston Miller, Ronald Lee Million, Peter Kalani Miranda, Paul Andrew Miranda Jr., Lonnie Ray Mitchell,
Larry A. Moore, Mario Moreau Leon, Sanford Lewis Nelson, Delmore Byron Nerveza, Manuel Quintano Neves, Michael James Pasva, Lawrence Edward Payne, Jackie Ray Perry, Charles Albert Philhauer, James Ellsworth Pitts, James Don Plessy, Robert Alton Preddy, William Henry Pruitt Jr., Daniel Kimokio Pui, Robert Louis Poltz, James Doyle Rader, Joseph Lee Reynolds, Everett Dale Ripey, Paul Allen Robertson, John Charles Romanchek, Frederick Wright Sanders, Patrick T. Sass, Philip John Schrock, David Earl Schwartz, Charles Glennon Schwartz, Leroy Floyd Shiska, Robert Johann Seufert, Roy Edward Shaw Jr., John Woodward Saganier Jr., Clayton Marquis Spainhauer, Serge Walter Spotansky, Gerald Highland Stewart, John Thomas Steicher, Harold Clifford Stills, Terence Lee Sund, Francisco Mario Tomeo Jr., Tyrone Taylor, Louis Robert Taylor, Walter Joseph Taylor Jr., Richard Martin Thompson, John Michael Troyer, Tony Ray Turner, Richard William Vaughn, Carlos A. Velasquez Ortiz, Bert Velez, James Lee Wade Jr., William Walter Wagner, Nathan Monroe White, Teddy Jean Witten, Norman Paul Williams, Donald A. Wise, Jack M. Young, Eugene Ziegler, Leon Zuniga Jr., Daniel Rogers Zutter,